Good morning. Welcome back to my channel. It has been a while since the Crypt Keeper has just sat down and talked to you guys. I know I've been vlogging a lot and doing a lot of other kinds of things, and sit-down videos have kind of taken a back seat, but today's video called for it to be a sit-down chit-chat. I come to you looking like a Christmas tree because it is the holiday season and we have some very important things to talk about in regards to the holiday season. I come to you not only from my crypt and not only as hopefully your online friend now, but as somebody who, even though it may not seem like it, struggles quite a bit with this season and has for quite some time now. And I know I'm not the only one out there, which is exactly why I have partnered with the Distress Center of Ottawa and region for this video. And I am so proud and so happy and so thankful that they were willing to work with me on this. So the point of this video is to help those who are like me this season. And like I said, it might not seem like it, but the holiday season is a struggle. It's like a struggle bus for me. The entire month of December is like struggle street. And so I know that mental health and mental illness doesn't take a back seat. It doesn't take a vacation. It doesn't go away during this season. So this video is for all of you, and just for those of you even who do not have a mental illness, who maybe are just going through a really hard time this year. Maybe you've lost a job or a long-term relationship, or maybe you've lost a loved one within this season, or maybe this time last year, or even a few years ago. Maybe you've been struggling literally since then. It's quite a possibility. But I do know that there are other people out there, people with severe depression or anxiety. Like myself, I do have severe generalized anxiety. Again, it may not seem like it. However, I've done what I need to in order to keep it as much a babe as possible. You have seasonal affective disorder. Whereas looking outside, even if it's sunny out, seeing all that snow and knowing it's winter is just a lot for you. And that's quite a possibility. I get that. I feel you. I understand. So I'm coming to you, and not just those of you like me, but everyone, with some tips and tricks to help you get through the most stressful time of this season. And we are literally coming down to that crunch time right now. It is the 12th. As I film this, on the 12th, we literally have 12 days left to shop if you celebrate Christmas. 12. That's not many. I get you. Those of you running around, bouncing off the walls, just even struggling just to get like your Christmas gifts, if you celebrate Christmas, of course, bought. Even as a normal person, this is stressful, and that's understandable. So I'm going to start with those who have anxiety, then those who have depression, those who've lost a loved one, and then everybody else at the end. I am going to link my blog down below. I'm going to go with my top 3 from tips from my blog for each category. There are more. So like I said, if you need more tips, or you want more tips, or you just want to take a read, link will be down below. The link to the Distress Center, if you need them, will also be down. So without further ado, let us start with anxiety. I have some notes here, so if you see me looking down before I, that's what's going on. I'd also like to just quick aside here. If none of these work for you, there's nothing wrong with you. Not everything works the same for everyone. This is just what works for me and what I know works for other people that I know in this situation. But it won't necessarily work for you. It doesn't mean don't try. It just means if it doesn't work, move on to the next, you know, adaptation or tip, or do it your way. Whatever way works for you best, that's the best way. That's my opinion. So, my first 2 tips for those of you with anxiety, like myself, are going to be breathing exercises. Seems kind of lame, kind of ridiculous, kind of like very basic, and are we past that yet? And the answer is truly no. And that's because in a lot of cases when it comes to anxiety, people with anxiety have a hard time once their anxiety kicks in to breathe and to remember to even do that. I know with me, when my anxiety gets really, really, really bad, I do this. And as soon as that air hits that spot in my chest where I can feel it start to build up right about here, y'all probably know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Then I start to do this. And the next thing you know, it's all down here from there. I'm on the floor. There's tears streaming down my face. I don't even know I'm ugly crying. I'm gagging. I'm vomiting. I'm literally practically passing out. And it's a nightmare. So, for those of you who are like me, who've forgotten how to breathe, especially in those moments, that's what these are for. So my first one is really, really simple. It is breathe in for 4 seconds. So inhale for 4, hold for 7, exhale for 8. One more time. Inhale for 4, hold for 7, exhale for 8. Simple. You can do it as many times as you feel you need to. And if that is not working, my next suggestion goes right along with this one. And that one is literally to sit yourself down. And I don't even care where you are. You could be in the middle of a crowded mall for really all I give a. You could be anywhere for all I care. It doesn't matter what you look like. So long as you are safe and you are to the side and you can't get stepped on or trampled or whatever, you can do this where you are. And this is my suggestion. So, place your hand on your chest. I'm going to back up for this one so you guys can actually see what I'm doing here. Hand on your chest, hand on your stomach. Inhale as deeply as you can. Hold it for 2 to 3 seconds. And exhale completely. You need to be sitting and sit straight up. And even if you close your eyes so that you can block out everything else around you, that is the best way to do that. And like I said, you sit there for as long as you possibly need to. It's better, of course, if you have somebody there with you to watch to make sure that you're okay. But, you know, if you're on your own, you're on your own. I get that. I've been there. I've done that too. Do that as many times as you need to. Here, inhale as deeply as you can. Hold for 2 to 3 seconds. Exhale completely. And do that, like I said, as many times as you possibly can. The next one I have for you is a mindfulness one. So if breathing doesn't work for you, you're long past that stage, you need to really redirect your focus. I got you. So this one is mindfulness, and it's very, very simple. It's a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 exercise. All you have to remember to do is count down from 5. So say 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch. Please don't touch other people, especially people you don't know. I know it feels like I shouldn't have to say this, but I guarantee you there's people out there who need that reminder. 4 things you can touch. You don't have to touch them, but if it helps you to do so to distract, touch them, just not other people. 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. One more time. 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, not other people, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, 1 thing you can taste. That will redirect your focus onto the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and take your focus off of the fact that you're having trouble in that moment. Trust me, I've done it several times. It actually works. All right, let's move on to depression. Depression is a tough one because, like I said, like anxiety, it comes in many, many forms. And it's a tough one because it could be something you've been struggling with for a really long time and it's just worse around this time of year. Or it could just be something that's just started, which almost makes it even harder because you didn't know it was coming. Next thing you know, middle of the month, bam, you're just out of commission. You don't even know why. That's a tough one. I know, I've been there. So I'm gonna do your top 3 for depression, things to help you just get through even just that moment or that day or that hour or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? So 1, the biggest one for depression and anxiety, to be honest with you, but the biggest one for depression is to identify your triggers. Know what triggers you to spiral. If you don't know what triggers you to spiral and you start to spiral, start to think immediately, okay, what just happened? Or what happened like 15 minutes ago or whatever? What happened prior to this that's having you go, screw life? That's my biggest one. And so once you've identified your triggers, you can either avoid them if possible, so that you don't trigger yourself for the rest of the season, or use those other tips and tricks that I just told you, or have somebody help you to face those triggers in a positive manner to help you get through them so that those triggers don't have you spiraling. The next one would be to take a short break from whatever it is you're doing. Get a cup of tea. Go for a walk if you can. Read a couple chapters of your favorite book, whatever that may be. Like, take a break from what you're doing. Take a purposeful break from what you're doing. I personally go and grab a cup of tea because a warm beverage will also help to calm your entire system. So if you purposefully take that 10-minute break, take longer if you have to. Take that 10-minute break, have your tea, your coffee, your whatever, and you just sit down and that's all you focus on. Trust me, you will feel better by the end of it. You might not be feeling 100%, but you'll be feeling better. And that is the goal. The goal is to feel well enough to keep going. Better. Not, oh, perfect, I've never felt depression ever before. Again, no, because we know that's not how that works. And that is not what I'm trying to portray here. Just better enough to keep going. Okay? And my next one would be, do not hesitate. So this is the last one for depression. I have more in my blog, like I said down below. The next one for depression would be, do not hesitate to reach out to somebody, whether it be a close friend or a family member or a close friend that does not trigger you. And I'm not saying that family members and close friends necessarily trigger you, but I do know that they can be common triggers for people, because people can be common triggers for people. I'm just saying. A close friend, a family member, a coworker, or your local distress center, because that is what they're there for. They have trained people, trained volunteers answering their phones 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to help you get through. Reach out. There is never any shame in getting help. Never. I'm going to repeat that one more time. And it's not because I think that you don't understand what I'm saying. It's because sometimes it takes that extra few times for it to really sink in that it's acceptable in your own brain to get help. It is never shameful to go get help when you need it. I've had to do it. I know several other people have had to do it, and there's no shame in it. None. If you cannot cope any longer on your own or with whomever is helping you in that moment, it's time for you to get extra help. It's not because you're weak. It has nothing to do with weakness. It has everything to do with the fact that you have decided that something needs to change, something needs to be helped, something needs to be fixed in a way that you yourself or the person directly with you in that moment cannot do on your own. Nothing to do with weakness. Sometimes you just don't know how to help yourself. There is no shame, zero shame, zero shame in picking up the phone and calling somebody. But you have to make sure that the person you're going to call or text, what have you, is going to pick up the phone as quickly as possible. Call the person you know is always there for you. And if they don't answer, the distress center will. Number is down below, and it will be up on the screen. Screenshot if you have to. Keep it with you. You never know when you're going to need it. You never know when you're going to need help talking your way through a situation or the thoughts that you're having in that moment. Call for help. It does not make you weak. I promise. Do it. You'll be thankful you did. The people who love you want you to get whatever help you need in order to get through. I promise you. The next one is difficult. It's the loss of a loved one, because that's a big one. My top 3 for that, I have many more, like I said, in the blog down below. Click the link. R, lean on your close family and friends. Lean on them. If it is somebody within your family who has passed, the rest of your family is grieving with you. So lean on each other. Do that. Use each other as a sounding board. It is important to know who is going to be there for you during that time. Use each other as a sounding board. Like I said, no shame in getting help. This is the same thing. The second one for me would be to either do something. The second thing would be do something to honor that person. Whether it be light a candle or go do their favorite Christmas or holiday activity, or, you know, do that activity with somebody else that you're close to. Doing that activity doesn't have that void there. Make their favorite meal or the favorite portion of their holiday meal and enjoy it, because that will give you that extra little bit of comfort. I personally like to light a candle and talk to them. It seems a little bit ridiculous. No, they're not sitting right here. No, they're not going to answer me. But it does make me feel better just knowing that I've had that conversation, even though it's just with myself. It feels like they're there, and so that void isn't a void. That's just what I do. Those are my top 3. And I'm going to give you one bonus one because it's extremely important. It's one word. Grieve. Pretty simple. Whether you've lost a relationship, a job, or a loved one, you are grieving a loss. They are different kinds of losses, but grief comes in all shapes, forms, and sizes. And quite frankly, it is extremely important for you to give yourself the time to do so. Very, very important. Grieve. There is no shame in grieving. And like I said, grieve in whatever manner works for you best. Because in the end, that is going to be what's going to help you get through, to get over that slump, to get to that next step. Again, grieving is not a sign of weakness. Losing something or someone that has been close to you is not easy for anybody. Do what you need to do. Doesn't matter how, just do what you need to do. And the next set of tips, my top 3, will be for everybody. All of the peoples. Yay for inclusivity. Why? Because I am an all-inclusive channel. Y'all know it. So my top 3 for everybody. And this is especially going to be for people who are going to be going out and running around, who buy gifts or are part of gift exchanges. However, this is a big part of the season, and it is a big part of the stress of the season, and we all know it. So, number 1, set a budget and stick to it. Stick to that budget, whether that budget be for the entire season, individual gifts, the meal, whatever, whichever, or all of it all together. Like I said, set a budget, put that number down, and stick to it. Because going over budget now, causing you to slightly be in debt even in January, when we all know there's that lull of everything, will cause more problems later than anything else. 2, Set your boundaries, not just with yourself, but with everybody in your life. Friends, family, people coming in from out of town, whomever, set your boundaries. For people who are not just mentally ill, but physically ill, also like myself, so in case this is your first time to my channel, hi. I have 5 chronic illnesses, physical ones, on top of my 2 mental illnesses. Yeah. This season is rough. But set boundaries. Whether that be 1 visit per your group of family or per person even a day. It is whatever it is you know you can physically handle. Do it. They will understand. Your loved ones will understand. That's the end of the road for you. 1 visit, 1 whatever. Don't go to 2 or 3 houses in a day if you physically cannot. I can't. I don't. Everybody knows it. Eve, I spread it out. And people, because as much as it seems like I'm running around consistently, I would rather run around every 2 or 3 days than 4 times in 1 day. Because 4 times in 1 day means 3 weeks of not being able to move afterwards. 1 time every 3 days means I have time in between to rest. Do not push yourself physically or mentally too far, because that will leave you empty, drained, and literally gasping for air later. And my third and final is plan ahead. Planning ahead takes a lot of the stress off of a lot of things. Trust me, I've done it both ways. Both ways are hard, but planning ahead is way easier. I promise. Even if it is just going out to get gifts, plan a list, plan the stores you need to go to, plan the order you need to go to them in, and get in and out as quickly as you possibly can. That way you won't feel like you're bouncing around from pillar to post and running around like a chicken with his head cut off like everybody else you see right along with you. Rather than get stuck in the fray, do your best to plan your way out of even getting into it in the first place. Now, I do understand that there will be exigent circumstances in which you will not be able to do so. And that's totally cool. I get that. I've been there. I've planned the perfect gift. I've gone to go get it. Half of it, can't find anywhere. Make a backup plan. Not joking. Make a backup plan. Make 1 list, make a backup list. The 1 list is like the perfect list. The backup list is like the things that are like, it's perfect enough. I know it seems ridiculous and insane, but at the same time, it takes off a lot of stress. I promise. And that, my friends, is all I have for you. Minus some fun little tidbits of things. And one last thing. This is just for all the time. Go easy on yourself. Do not beat yourself up over what you can do, what you can't do, what you... Don't. Be kind to yourself. Not just now, but all year. I know it's hard, but talk to yourself as if you're speaking to your best friend. Because you would probably never say half of the things to your best friend that you say to yourself. And that's not okay. So speak to yourself as if you are your own best friend, because you should be. Go easy on yourself. Be kind. Take a deep breath. And resume. I have 2 fun extras for you in this video. I will post like on the screen as well, but as well as down below in the description box. So the Distress Center of Ottawa and region has 2 upcoming events for you. Not like, okay, one of them's in the near future, the other one's in the summer. But regardless, I'm putting them in here anyway. Why? Because in order for people like me and possibly people like yourself to get the help that they need, people like them need funding. The way in which they get most of the rest of their funding, other than through their volunteers, is people who donate. And so you have 2 opportunities to donate in the next 6-7 months. I don't know. Anyway, because they're an amazing service and they're there for literally everyone at any point in time. So, Free World Tattoo and the Distress Center of Ottawa have come together for second annual year of Mindful Ink, and I am so excited. I went last year. This is the one that I got. It's a solitary tree. It is green and a solitary, as it is for anxiety, which I think we know why I got that. This year, both my husband and I will be getting tattoos. Your tattoo donations go directly to the Distress Center. Mindful Ink has been done at Free World Tattoo, like I said, it'll be the last 2 years now. And last year was phenomenal. The turnout was absolutely amazing. Check out Free World Tattoo on Facebook. I will link all of their information down below as well so that you can know when it is coming up. It is coming up in February, but no date has specifically been set or I should say been released yet. Neither have the designs. So look out for that. If you are alternative like myself, or you just want a piece of ink that means something very dear to you, that carries itself with you, that maybe is a reminder that tomorrow will be a better day, this is the time and the place to do it. Just kind of like this one for me, on top of this one. They're visible to me for a reason. This says, "This too shall pass." Because sometimes it feels like it won't. But I'm still here after all the things that I thought would never pass. So it will. But this is what I got last year. I loved my artist. She was fantastic. We are coming together again, the Distress Center and I am going to be releasing a vlog for when my husband and I get our tattoos done this year, or I should say next year, 2019, this coming year. I'm so excited. All of their information will be in that one as well, but I will put up Free World Tattoos, you know, whatever, and down in the description box below. And the second one, last but not least, is their annual Chocolate Gala event. That is in May. I believe the date has been released for Saturday, May 12th of 2019. I did not get to go last year. I am planning on going this year. So if y'all want to come out and say hi, support a really great cause, eat some delicious food and chocolate, come on down. The tickets went on sale December 1st, which is exactly why I am putting this in this video. December 1st early bird tickets are already for sale. They went quick last year. So go, run now. Again, information will be down below. And I'll, in the screen, because that's what I do. That is all for today. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Please share this video, especially for those in the Ottawa region who may need that. I love you guys. Thanks for coming around. I will see you in the next Tales from the Crypt Keeper. Bye for now, and have an amazing holiday season, or have the best holiday season that you possibly can with whatever you have going on. I love you. I'll see you next time.